parties will be brazen up on some of the stakes and challenges that are expected to be seen. And some of these stakes and challenges are not easy to go by. Not too long from now, people are really expecting that the President of the Republic will call for the election. Okay, let me start with you, Mr. Njomo Cyril of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. How is the party bracing up for this election?
You make me laugh. So truly, you think that any serious party should be preparing for these upcoming elections? No, we should be serious. I understand that from the 18th of January 1996 Constitution, there were two major organs of the parliamentary system that was supposed to be put in place to promote living together and good governance. Notably, the regional elections and the municipal elections. The regional election was to give birth to the regions, and it is following that constitution right that Cameroon was moved from province to regions. But it was only moved by decree, notably the decree of 2009. But after that, the council went effective, meaning council were divided. Some had 25 councillors, some 41, some 65 for the biggest, and so on, to represent the various quarters and constituency that make up a subdivision or so. And so we had to wait from 1996 to today, is close to about 20 years or 24? Maybe something like that, 24 years to start the gestation of the region, that is to have regional elections. As we talk, the CPDM party that we wasted the first 20 minutes of this program talking about are already on the field campaigning. It means that anytime soon we will likely have this election that, according to in-house talk, is surely slated for October 2020.
What is strategy?
My heart is bleeding at this particular time, and I want to borrow some few seconds to talk about the two main guidelines that my party chairman came out with, which, of course, we should always remind Cameroonian of goodwill, was elected in the election of 2018 as the democratic president of Cameroon, whose election was stolen by Mr. Biya. He came out recently and gave two guidelines that should guide Cameroonian of good faith, notably the situation of the pending situation of the Northwest and the Southwest, the crisis rocking the Northwest and the Southwest, and the second one being the revision of the electoral code. Pundits have said that he knew about the Anglophone crisis in 2018 and still went for election. I'm talking pundits, notably the current Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Boussy's boss, Jacques Famendongo, who came out in 7 points to rubbish my chairman, the President-elect Maurice Kamto. And secondly, that he equally knew that the electoral code was not good since 2013 when he first vying in for the local election, and in 2018 again for a second time, knowing that the electoral code was not good or consensual. I think it is important to bring light to those two issues because Cameroonian following us might be having that kind of weak argument to water down the guidelines that President Maurice Kamto is putting before us. First, about his awareness of the Anglophone crisis. It is since the inception of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. And dear viewers, you can take me to book by going to our website. It's since 2012 that Professor Kamto outlined the Anglophone crisis and said, truly, for Anglophone to be fully represented through their linguistic differences and their historical evidence to be a people, they need to have a referendum among them to see to have their claim come from the grassroots, those who represent them, and to possibly work to have a possibility to be represented at the level of the, so that there should be a transition from one president who is a francophone to a president who is an anglophone. That was the preemption of Professor Okamto when he started thinking about the anglophone crisis. But over time, the anglophone crisis degenerated, especially in 2016. And so when he was going in for the 2018 election, because people were asking themselves, how do you solve the ongoing anglophone crisis? He said it in simple terms. If you make me the president of the republic, I'm going to move to the northwest and southwest, have a town hall meeting where bike riders are going to come, university lecturers, in short, teacher, the teacher course, lawyers, medical doctor, in short, all walks of life are going to come together, select whosoever they want to represent for whatsoever. We all are going to move to Yaoundé.
But how could people believe him when he has never come to meet the people?
No, Professor Okamto was on the 16th of November 2016. No, 2014 in Bamenda.
Okay.
Yes, and I have picture to prove. Okay. You permit me because I started explaining something that television are following like.
Okay, 30 seconds so that I get to Dr.
Are following like milk in the house, and you cannot just cut that from their mouth. So I was explaining that is what he told the Anglophone community in 2018. Yes. Unfortunately, he won the election and the Jacobin government of Yaoundé seized it from his hands. But without which he did not give up the race. He said that, okay, I will go on the streets because all the treaties that Cameroon have signed and ratified, especially international treaties, protect the freedom of right and expression. Yeah. So he said that we cannot be coming on the platform like this and talking all the time because it's not all Cameroonians that are on air. Most young people, as we are talking, are browsing their phone. They don't have time to follow us. So the best place I can meet them is on the streets. And that is why I need to go to the streets so that at least when we are walking in a mass, they can see and start asking themselves what is happening. Then we will have an opportunity to educate them. I want to remind you that from the 1990 law, the creation of political party is to be able to conquer power. And you don't conquer power by talking over media. Truly, talking over media is a form of media, TV, mass communication, and social media. They are organs to educate, but they are not enough. Complementarity is on the street. But I'm learning. I'm already I'm coming down already, so don't be afraid. So as I'm explaining, they went on the street, they took them, went to prison. Luckily, God has a way he works. When they went to the prison, they met with the Naira 10. They chat. Fatal discussion that will save Cameroon. And so, after 9 months, Mr. Biya organized a simulative monologue in the name of trying to resolve the Anglophone crisis. Yeah. Out of which the resolution of this monologue has not yielded any fruit. Instead, the life of the Anglophone is much in danger. Women, young girls, and children are perishing under the weight of houses and rates and many more. And we are asking ourselves that is it the right moment that we should go for another election, knowing well that we boycotted the. I'm talking in a way that so that when doctor comes in, he should not get any utterance because it's going to pain the heart of the old women that have lost their children in this war. Doctors should not dare talk about this election in favor because there is no way we can support this election.
Are you being prophetic there?
I'm not intimidating doctor because I know he's somebody who have an independent mind, but I want to suggest to him that let's do everything tonight to save our hand from this shame.
Yes, we'll be coming back to you. Doctor, we are looking at the stakes and challenges as far as this election is concerned because if you look at it very well, the councillors are going to vote the regional councils and maybe the chiefs and so on. So now, some of these stakes are challenged. It shows that the CPDM will be like the majority in this house. What's your take about it?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Before I ride on, I want to first of all say I'm sorry for Professor Maurice Kamto. That did not go in for the twin elections for his own reasons. But it's part of democracy. It's part of representative democracy. He has his right. But I feel that Professor Maurice Kamto, if he had Cameroonians at heart, he would have gone in for the twin elections to show, because we are talking of elections that could help facilitate these regional elections we are talking. So that's the first mistake Professor Maurice Kamto made, and he went ahead to say he scored the gold in the presidential election. He needed to prove evidence, which evidence was not really proven at the court of at the Constitutional Council, which Mr. Probia still remained the legitimate president of the Republic of Cameroon as for now. But I want to castigate a bit of issues here, because I'm not here to support the president of the Republic. I'm here to say things for good governance, to shape our country. Mr. Moderator, first of all, I want to say, we are talking of a regional election. There was a special status in this country that was talked at the Major National Dialogue, and we don't know the content of the special status, and we are already talking of regional elections. What are the benefits of the special status? Till today, Mr. Moderator, if you ask the common man in the street, what is the special status all about? Even the representative of the Anglophones who went to Yaoundé for the Major National Dialogue, they don't know anything about the content, and we are talking about regional elections. So we should be serious in this country. We should be honest. We should be frank when we are talking of state issues in this country. They were talking of reconstruction. How can we reconstruct Cameroon when we are not in peace, when gun battles? Like today, when I read the paper today, the SDO of Ngokutunja was saying that chiefs and quarterheads are working hand in glove with separatists over the military. And we are talking of regional elections when we are talking of creating the House of Chiefs, and we don't even trust the chiefs. So, Mr. Moderator, it's still bizarre. When you look at the 1996 constitution in this country, in January, the constitution stipulated that Cameroon will be a decentralized country. Since 1996 up to 2020, how many years is that? We have not respected decentralization. And decentralization was all about devolution of power and resources to local people. And today we have not enjoyed decentralization. We are talking of regionalization. As Mr. Njomo Siri said, we had provinces, now we have regions. And how would regional election goes when people are still in crisis? When the Anglophone regions on daily basis, gun battles are still going on.
But they'll tell you that the electors are there.
The electors are councillors. Yeah. And these councillors, are we saying that because councillors are not representative of the people, or are we saying that because it's a franchise, or it's a universal suffrage, they should go and vote? Are they representing themselves, or they are representing the government?
And some are internally displaced.
Are we talking about franchise? Or are we talking about universal suffrage? Or are we talking about the local people? Because I feel that at the end of the day, regional election should benefit the common man. Okay. Regional election is to give power to the local governors, to the regions. Because centralization of power is killing a lot in Cameroon. But can we forecast regional elections at moments like this when gun battles are still going on, Mr. Moderator? Okay. House of Chiefs will be created. The Minister of Territorial Administration asked the chiefs to go to their villages. Have they gone? Where are the chiefs? They have not gone to their villages. Most of them they are internally displaced. They are still in Yaoundé. I've seen cases where just few chiefs are in their villages, like the paramount fund of Bafut and Com in the northwest region. Most of the other chiefs have fled. They have left their villages. The House of Chiefs will be created. Regional elections. Are Stones going to vote? Most of these councillors, as we are talking in the northwest and southwest, are not in their area of jurisdiction, Mr. Moderator. I know of my Lord Mayor of the Bafut Council resides in Bamenda, not even in Bafut. So we have to be honest to build Cameroon. And we can only build Cameroon when there's justice, when there's peace, before we can start talking of development and regional elections. And I want to end by saying that we are talking of regional elections. We already talked of the special status where we don't know how it will work. And also, Mr. Moderator, we need to understand the content of regional elections. Are we going to revise our constitution? Are we going to revise our constitution to improve on the text or are we going to respect the 1996 laws that says that regional presidents will be elected to run over their regions, while the governors will be appointed to be supervisory body? I still ask myself, if they are electing regional president, why can't they elect regional governors? But the constitution says that regional governors are representative of Yaoundé, meaning that regional governors are still more than regional president. Then how does regionalization works effectively in such context? So we feel that our members of parliament, our lawmakers in this country, we have 3 organs of government, and we feel that the legislative arm of government needs to be independent to revise our constitution. And looking at the constitution, the CPDM has majority of councillors, meaning that when you look at the organigram and the restructuring of regionalization in Cameroon, the CPDM will still have the highest mandate, the majority. And looking at the CRM party, the CRM party will still keep lamenting. And time will keep going.
Yes.
And as we are talking at this juncture, Mr. Moderator, permit us say that Professor Maurice Kamto failed by not going in for regional elections. And to a greater extent, I still respect Professor Maurice Kamto because he has held the government hostage.
Adding to what you have to say, I want you to, these regional elections, people who have to be there will have to be checking and maybe doing balances of the local government. Now that the ruling party will surely be having the majority, do you think they will do the checks and balances in the right way?
That your question is coming at a time to almost close my mind from what Doctor have said. But I would like to talk about it before I come back to Doctor. To say it will be practically difficult for it's divisional delegate, because they elect divisional delegates and they represent their division at the level of the region. That is how it will function. And it's for 5 years. I don't want to be part of those who will contribute to the misery of Cameroonian for the next 5 years. Because as Dr. Riley placed it, they will be under the supervision of a regional delegate or a state representative in the region. So everything they decide as a council, they submit it under the supervision of the state representative in the region, and he's the one who gives the veto. So practically it comes back to the same Jacobin system we are having now. And we are asking ourselves, the Anglophone community, being its senators, less than 2% of the population voted for them. I mean, those with voters' cards. Same thing with the local council, the indirect sovereign rights that the regional delegate or the divisional delegates are going to be invested with, actually is coming from an illegitimate local or municipal councils. Now, and that will permit me to link it with what Doctor was saying while stigmatizing the CRM for not going in for the February the 9th election, to say that truly, having taken stock of our experience following the 2018 election, we are talking about contemporary time, because when you take it back to 2013, at least the evolution in digitalization and social media participation was not as high as it is today. So 2018 is not far from us. We have experienced a lot of things between election rigging, especially the relationship between the electoral organ, ELECAM in Cameroon, the incumbent, the CPDM, the Ministry of Territorial Administration, which have had the privilege to host this election process for more than 20 years.
But they are hands-free now. From it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That since 2012, they are hands-free. But are they totally free with the experience? For example, if you take the national chair, the president of the electoral board, Dr. I'm forgetting his name. He in 1996 was already an influential member in ONEL. ONEL was the then organizing
Yes.
organs.
Yes.
So
Administration.
he has already been into the system. So they are the same people. Too. Even with the current general manager of Elecam, both of them, they work in that years. That is why they had to sack in 2018. They had to sack the former director general of Elecam, who is now the
But don't you see their management skills?
Permit me, I just want to show you that it is a system that have been put in place to rig election. And the Cameroon Renaissance movement, being taking cognizance of that, decided that no, we will not go for another masquerade again. We will not be part for a simulation again. We will not be part of something that will just legitimate the incumbent. And because of that, we have taken our right position as a political party of the opposition. Our normal duty is to check government action and to educate the masses so that their well-being is ever guaranteed. And how do we do that? By conscientizing people. That is not normal.
I love that statement, to check government actions, and don't you think
without
that,
taking the place of parliamentarian, please.
Yes, that's
we
why I
do
say,
that by advocating. We do that because we don't have the power to legitimate law, to legislate law, to vote for laws or move
yes,
motion.
I just wish to ask if you said the right thing to check government actions, not so, and suggesting, why don't you do it in the party like other opposition parties do? They just, maybe when they see some flaws in the government, maybe they write to the prime minister or the ministers concerned.
That takes me to the history of Cameroon. The history of Cameroon have known only some few instances. You have the era when the colonial master came and was forcing on Cameroonian. Rudolph Douala Mangabé stood tall, and that's why he was sacrificed. After that, you have the post-independent, or when the you have the period of the slave trade, you have the period of the colonization where Nyobe. I'm talking about. I mean, era leaders that have stood up in their time.
Okay.
You have Nyobe.
And where are they even today?
And they were nationalists.
Yeah.
After that, you had in 90 with the multipartism with Nijom Fundi, and today in the contemporary time, it is Professor Kamto. So I've given you there 4 era and with 4 distinguished
Kamto
leaders.
is running away.
Now, let me tell you one thing. Because your question still stands. If you take back the floor, I will answer your question.
Yes.
Your question is, why are we different from other political parties?
Yeah.
And you have the answer. That because we are the new breath. We are the reawakening.
Okay.
We are that new bread that Cameroonians are hoping. Not for ourselves. I am not fighting for myself. But for the children I'm seeing by the roadside that do not have money to go back for the school reopening that is opening in October. Because of COVID-19, their parents were laid off from job. Because of COVID-19, they move away from their community and they are now in Boya. They don't have any source of living. They don't know how they will be paying their school fees. I'm telling them that if I was in the government, I was supposed to drop down the school fees so that I can enable them to go back to school. Mr. Mambo, I'm telling you about a new way of doing. That is totally different, totally opposite to what the current government is doing. And that will definitely answer you why we in the Cameroon Renaissance movement, we don't do like other political parties. Even if it appears that we are committing the same mistake that the SDF did in the 90s, personally, I'm not convinced that it was a mistake.
Okay,
but
Dr. Busi,
that the weapons that we have today to take the same approach might certainly give us reason, because in the 90s there was no social media. Today people are more civilized, people are more conscientized.
Okay. During the senatorial election, we saw voters were being flown in helicopters and so on to centers to vote. Don't you see that this is going to repeat itself, given that some of them are even internally displaced and so on? Some of them will not be able to go to where they have to vote.
You know, this one is a kind of franchise. It's not everybody that will vote as...
the same councillors that voted during senatorial, they were flown in helicopters and so on.
Same councillors, especially with the CPDR's funds.
Yeah.
So they can do that. Even if President Maurice Kamto was vying in for
is it not against the constitution?
An election, Mr. Moderator, we know that politics is an issue of interest.
Okay.
And that's the selfish interest, that's the egoism we are fighting against. As Mr. Njomo Sivi, the politician, is saying, you might see the mayor of Njombe Penja was a very strong militant of the CRM.
No, it came to coalition.
For coalition, but where seem today, Mr. Moderator, nice mayor with his own party. So we are saying that politicians have interest. Even when you look at Professor Maurice Kamto, he has good ideas. He's a lawmaker. He has the personality. But look at his age too. If Professor Maurice Kamto is running away for elections now, Mr. Moderator, in the next future, he should be grooming people who stand by him.
That is why he's going.
He should be grooming people who stand by him because he's already aging. But answering your questions, I would say that regional elections in this context, we have seen situations where during presidential elections, ministers were being taken through helicopters, ministers were being taken through armor cars. Yeah. And that's the same situations where councillors will be carried through helicopters and through armor cars. But at the end of the day, the councillors should seek their consciences, because the kind of delegates or the kind of people they will vote, will such people create an impact in this country? Because we are talking of regionalization and we need persons of integrity and values. And we have seen senators in this country where councillors voted them in senatorial session. Such people with aging population and gerontocracy, such people are sleeping when sessions are ongoing. Are they going to vote the same kind of persons? Look at SDF. For now, SDF is the main, I don't know. SDF has a majority of councils.
That's not true.
No, it's not SDF. Which party is that?
It's a
CPD.
No, it's a party.
The opposition, in terms of opposition parties.
Okay, opposition parties.
In terms of
yes.
opposition parties.
The party of Margaret Buba.
Yes. Forget about that. That is a party with the CPDM, because they have a coalition with the CPDM. I'm talking of opposition parties.
Okay.
In this country, I think that SDF.
No, it's the PCRA. The party of Cabral
Libi, and the SDF follows.
Yes.
And if you look at that analysis and that statistics, it still shows that how many councillors do they have? And the number of councillors they have is not even up to 1/4 of the councillors CPDM has. Meaning that the kind of representative we will see in the regions will be coming from the CPDM party.
But don't you think Professor Kamto is a very...
It's a prophet.
It's not a prophet, it's a fine mind. It's a fine mind.
Professor Kamto is somebody who moves people when he talks. He knows how to lobby. Don't you think that he can still lobby some of these CPDM electorates? And
it's difficult.
maybe
during the presidential election, Professor Maurice Kamto went to Douala. He saw the crowd. But at the end of the day, how many persons had voter cards to go and to vote for him? How many persons voted? How many persons had voter cards to vote for Professor Maurice Kamto? So we are saying that. Let me land, please. The SDF under Mr. Nijon Fundi came out with such crowd. They have come. SDF. What Professor Maurice Kamto is doing, Mr. Nijon Fundi has done that fruitlessly in this country. He has pulled people. But at the end of the day, he didn't take power. So we need leaders that. Like for now, Mr. Moderator, when I say coalition, my friend here is always angry. We need alliances.
Okay,
whether we like it or not, we need opposition parties that can form alliances, that can build a particular ideology to work over the CPDM. Because as for now, the CPDM financially they are strong, and in the grassroots they have strategies in the grassroots. They have the finance, they have the resources. And the CRM does not have such resources, because to pull you must have the resources. As for now, the CRM doesn't have such resources, but I think that the international world respect Professor Maurice Kamto. But I feel that Professor Maurice Kamto cannot do it alone. But if they can come in as an alliance with other strong opposition party. Because I've seen division within the SDF party, whereby you see the vice president of the SDF party saying something, while another senior parliamentarian or a senator saying another thing. There's a lot of conflict and division among our opposition parties. They don't have a vision for the people.
This may be due to self.
They don't have a vision.
Okay.
If our political parties, like for example, go to Britain.
Yeah.
Go to Britain, you will see that we have opposition parties that they are very strong.
Yeah.
And it is as a result of, at times, they have coalition to overtake. We have the Conservative Party and the other parties. But now we have several political parties in Cameroon. And if we have hundreds of political parties in Cameroon, and many of these petty political parties, because some of their leaders want power, at the end of the day, they join the CPDM. And the CPDM knows how to work the magic to see them join them. Okay. But at the end, you never see an opposition party in this country forming a coalition. Even when the presidential elections were up, we thought that the days ahead, a coalition was to be formed. And within them, if they say a coalition should be formed for somebody, a run-up of a presidential election in this country, Professor Maurice Kamto want to stand. The man of SDF want to stand. The man of the other political parties.
Nobody wants to step down.
Leaders who are loyal. We need leaders who can be selfless to take over power in this country, Mr. Moderator.
Maybe we should be taking a bend to this topic. Then we'll take the last topic because we just have about 30 minutes. Let me come to you. Don't you see that with what the ruling government is doing, they are trying to make decentralization very effective because they are trying to, this regional house, will be monitoring the local government and so on.
Yeah. To an extent, that's the impression they want to create, but in practice, it might be difficult to obtain that, knowing that the two restive regions have not fully participated in all the processes. Yeah. So decentralization can only be effective when the people vote for their leaders. So when we say the statistics are still there, less than 2% voted for the just ended local election, that is the twin election. I understand there was an urgency to renew the mandate of the local administrator, but now that it has been done and that the people were not part of it, how has the people been faring with their local administration? We have known part of resistance. We have had people going on air, notably on this platform, saying that their local council is not representative enough, and those are just evident that it might reflect with the upcoming regional election, if at all it takes place. Moderator, some things were said about my party here that I would like to come back to. It just to shed some few light about the multiplicity of political parties of the opposition. It is a strategy known by all, or not all, the majority of Cameroonians, coming from the incumbent as a system to weaken the opposition. Talking about coalition, we were all together to see the two legal minds, Professor Maurice Kamto at the time with Barrister Akere Muna, coming for a coalition, and that is how they vying in for.
But it never came to pass.
It was late.
That is how they vying in for the Etuti race. One thing is that they came together. Another thing is that it passed. How could they pass with the rigging system put in place? I talked earlier about the coalition between four major actors that team up to rush down. Now, a lot of things being said about the Cameroon Neza movement, forgetting that it is one of those few parties in contemporary standard that have been ranked second by the rigmarole system in place.
Okay.
To say that if they, after all their fraudulent act, they could still give us 14% of the national suffrage, it is representative enough, and that the person who follow us had only 4%. Is to tell Cameroonians that they should not follow this kind of instruction that says, oh, Professor Kamto is selling illusion, oh, Professor Kamto is dreaming. No. It is a one leader who wants to buy time. He is fighting for bloodshed that he does not want any of us to walk on top of another Cameroonian blood before ascending to power wherever. And it is a case of the local elections. Our chief represents 30% of the electorate. Most of them will surely vote by procuration. How can you vote by procuration, by proxy, and you expect to lead on the people to take decisions that is going to implement? Because the fact that they are seeking asylum elsewhere or on refuge does not mean that there's nobody in their homeland. There are people there. And to think that they will take decision for the life of those people while they are not there, that is what is hurting us, and we see that we can economize that wastage.
But the Constitution says those who have not been in their constituency are not supposed to vote, now that most of them are internally displaced.
You say so. It's a strategy that all of us know that the CPDM representative most of the time, there are so many mayors, one was cited here. It is already a method that they have been used to, and they think that it's a government policy. To think that people can be living in Yaoundé, Douala, or even abroad sometime, and they are elected in their hometown.
Okay,
well,
before
we don't
we go
think
for
that
a break,
in democracy that should be.
Before we go for a
method.
break, your last word on this topic. Before take the last topic.
My last word is that when we talk of regional elections, they are good, but I think that this is not the right time, because the special status for the Anglophone regions, we still do not know how it will work. We don't know the content. We feel that our leaders in Yaoundé must be honest, and if we are talking of a kind of regionalization, we want
tell
to,
you the special
we
status are
need
giving
a
you
kind of
seaports.
justice. We need a kind of justice in this country, Mr. Moderator, because we are working towards change and towards a paradigm shift, and we cannot be working towards a paradigm shift when there's chaos in some part of the country. And I feel that the Anglophone problem or the crisis, the root causes should be solved first before any regional elections.
Okay.
And the Naira 10, they are still in prison. And war is still going on in the northwest and southwest. And we have seen situations where people have been butchered and killed, inhuman. And we feel that there's no sanity.
Okay.
And we pray that there should be sanity. Because there's no sanity, we cannot talk of devolution of power when they see chaos. We are talking of reconstruction when they see chaos. You cannot give power to, because when you look at the Anglophone crisis especially, development at this juncture, when there will be regionalization, will mostly be the people. And the people cannot develop their environment when the separatist leaders are still there because of the fear factor. Okay. For example, if you say there's a regional president, there are delegates and so on, in the division and so on, how would these people walk and go to the suburb? How would they develop when the separatists have not put down their arms? So we need to be honest, and I still appreciate the effort of Professor Maurice Kamto, because those are legal minds who understand the political bureau of this country. They
Prophet
understand.
of our days.
I will not say prophet,
Political
but I think that he is a bold.
Okay.
He is. I will not call. He's not a prophet, but I think that's a gentleman by excellence who has some respect and dignity, and who have advocated for the laws in this country. And Mr. Njomo Siri, you must know that he has been a member of government.
That's an advantage.
The fact that he has been a member of government, there are some largesse. Whether he likes it or not, the blood of the government is still with him.
No.
To an extent.
Okay.
To an extent.
We are Christian on this platform, and there are certain things we should be able to
To
say.
an extent.
When you back it up,
when
you
you
back
when
it up.
Jesus said that you repent from your former ways.
You back it up.
When you become born again. No, you are talking
Okay,
to a born again.
Professor Maurice Kamto is born
No,
again.
spirituality.
No,
It's not an issue of
Okay.
Christianity or spirituality. What we are saying is that Professor Maurice Kamto has dined and wined with the government of this country.
You need not to repeat that. That is known by all those who are watching.
If he has to change the political
No.
road, and if he has to change the political
he's
roadmap of
clean
this
water
country,
now out of a dirty bottle?
we only feel so. If you have,
Okay.
we only feel so.
Your
It's
last words
conditional.
on this topic.
I think I'm much more in favor of the last two statements. We only feel so, and I think that kind of breath of hope is necessary for a fine mind like you. Just to say that, Mwambu, moderator, that we cannot trust the Bias regime. Is untold, is unwanted to see their hunger for power. You know, when you rule with care,
Just like the opposition.
when you rule with care, weapons are not harmful to the people. You know, I don't know of you, I come from a royal family and my parents used to work with arms. It was normal that when you are working with arms, because during
What kind
ceremonial
of
events,
could arms or
yeah, whatever. But today, if people are holding that arm, it will be to wound somebody because the
Okay,
level
that
of,
one was symbolic.
yes, the level of division in the country has become so abnormal. Radicalization have stepped in, and people are not looking at
even in
their
our
brother as-
tradition,
yes.
even in our local tradition, in our annual dancing, we used to use the dead guns.
So-
Dear viewers,
and we leave
it's only-
this is where we'll go
it's
for a
only
break.
come to
When we
with
come
some
back,
of us that
we
are
shall be
bringing
taking
back
the
that
last
lifestyle
topic.
again, and
Let's
please give
go
us-
for a
give
break.
us
We'll
the
come back
chance
to
to
take the
give you
last
that
topic.
lifestyle.